What's up, everybody? Today we're talking Usher's STD lawsuit and R. Kelly sex slavery. Oh, we're also talking about shirt being unbuttoned. All that and more. Okay, Jesse, thank you. All that and more on Black Hollywood Lives this week.
You are tuned in to Black Hollywood Live this week.
It's gonna burn for me to say this. It's coming from
Wow.
I feel itchy already.
That was, I mean, I can't even come in singing.
You want to do the dance like cover.
Yeah, you know.
I know. Yes,
Right.
you burning all the time, ain't you? Just on
Wow.
fire.
I'm sure there's a very expensive medical cream for it.
Yes. Wow.
I'm hurting. I ain't happy. This all
Welcome
means
to
so
Black Hollywood
much.
Live this week. We got Usher playing in the background because we are going to be talking about his STD
But
lawsuit.
he said, I think you should let it burn. She should have listened to that.
That's how
Listen
he
to the
started.
lyrics.
Like, listen to the lyrics, girl.
I think you should just
Listen
let
to
it
the
burn,
lyrics.
girl. It's okay.
And that's why I'm like, Chili, how much money you been getting all this time? You couldn't have funded the TLC album a little bit more than that?
Wow. Well,
Well, she came before
Well, let me
anyways.
introduce the panel that's not burning. Courtney
Sharon.
Stewart
Show ain't burning over here. Hey,
and DJ
y'all.
Jesse J.
What's up?
And we are happy to be here on Black Hollywood Live. As you saw the intro, if you were watching it, I got a little sidetracked because Jesse was unbuttoning my shirt because, you know, they say I'm a 5-button-down guy. Today
You look like you all coconut oil up and stuff. You using
got a little
Safari's
lotion.
oil.
Got a little lotion. Got a little.
You only got two, although you're giving me IT tech today.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, well.
I think it's because the
It's the
two
glasses
buttons
and the
glasses.
button down. Yeah.
Okay,
yeah.
well.
And it's a very,
I
like,
complimented on those glasses. Those
Yeah,
are nice
I mean,
glasses.
it's
Yeah, nice
complimented.
glasses.
but it makes him look smart.
Now, do you have chest
Makes you
hair
work
going
Well,
on?
I am smart, so it
I'm
doesn't
not saying that
make
you're
me
not
look smart.
I'm saying it makes you
You're
also look
insecure.
smart.
Ronnie, what's your question?
Asking if your chest hair is popping
I
out.
don't have chest hairs,
doesn't
really.
have chest
I only
hair.
have-
See, I see a
got
little
couple of
spr- I
baby
see some-
hairs.
got,
I
like,
got
a couple
I got little
curls.
sprigs.
sprinkles. I got
You
little
got some
sprinkles.
curls.
So I'm
Sprigs.
trying
You
curl
got your
up.
summer look together.
I got my
okay.
summer look together. I got the, you know, I'm not mad at the summer bod right now. I'm doing all right.
Hilarious.
Doing all right.
Y'all are hilarious.
Well, we're not here to talk
Well.
about Derrial summer bod, apparently.
Derrial's chest
we're here to
hairs.
talk about Usher's.
Well, that's not what I'm talking about first. First and foremost, y'all, so I don't know if you've heard this, but remember we talked about Lupita and Rihanna and how Twitter saw a picture and they were like, let's make this into a movie, and it's actually
Everybody's
becoming
excited.
a movie.
I can't wait.
So this is gonna be like a new thing where we the people,
We the people.
since we can't speak and get our voices heard in the government, Hollywood listens to us though. Well, so the Magic School Bus, Netflix is doing this whole reboot with it. They picked up SNL's Kate McKinnon to do the voiceover for. It's called the Magic School Bus Rides Again, and she's gonna play Fiona Frizzle, who is the original Miss Frizzle's cousin, and who is originally voiced by Lily Tomlin. Which I'm like, why didn't they just bring the original back?
Maybe Lily tired, you know.
Lily's
she
like, I already have one
She's doing
Netflix
Grace and
show.
Frankie, that's enough. She's
I
like,
was gonna say,
I'm
she's
not
working.
trying to do that much.
Yeah.
Well, so people all of a sudden put out this thing saying that Tracy Ellis Ross would be the perfect Miss Frizzle for a live action movie.
She actually would.
I think it would
And
be great.
honestly, I literally, along with Black Twitter, cannot stop thinking. This is like, honestly, it was like she was born for this role. Like, to really take something so iconic from the 90s, or flip it, Missy Elliott, flip it, and understand, okay? And throw Miss Tracy Ellis Ross as Miss Frizzle.
That'd be really good.
I
Actually.
would so watch.
I'm so here for it.
I'm there for it all.
Her
the way.
personality, her character, she would be coming in there looking fierce in all them
I
dresses.
love it.
Come on, Tracy. So Tracy's here
Love
for
it.
it. She supports it. She said, "Hey, let's get this going. Who wants to hire
To make
me?"
it happen.
Well, there's another one that's coming out too. Well, not coming out, but that's been bubbling up. Toil and Trouble, y'all. Hocus Pocus. This cover, I forget what magazine it was, with Taraji, Octavia, and Janelle.
So they're making it the black version.
They want a black version
Because
of
who was in
Hocus
the original?
Pocus.
Wasn't it like Bette Midler?
It was
or-
Bette Midler,
Sarah Jessica
Mr.
Parker, and
Sure.
Kathy and Jimmy.
Was that a 2000 movie or a 90s movie?
That
was
the
90s.
It was 90s?
Because I
It was
definitely
like
taped it on
96,
VHS.
97,
Why you said
somewhere around
VHS?
there.
Wow.
Sure did.
Yeah.
So they want to redo it, make an all-black cast. They want Chance the Rapper as Max. So here for that. They said Zendaya as Allison,
Oh, cute.
Quivanzane as the little sister. And I was like, well, I have to Google her and see how old she is.
She's
And
like
then Kendrick
12.
Lamar as
13.
Thackeray Binks.
I'm good
I like
with
that.
this.
I'm-
I think that's actually a
like
really
all
good-
of
So
it.
basically, they're doing what they did with Still Magnolias. Except Still
Except
Magnolias went
it
to
needs to be
TV,
good.
and they're making this
Yeah, except
a
it
feature
needs
film.
to be good.
And it needs to be good.
I would
yes.
watch. These are great characters.
That's a great characters, great casting. I would watch that.
Like Janelle as the Sarah Jessica Parker. Well, yeah, because I don't know about Janelle. Like, who would really be the Bette Midler? Who's the actor? I mean, Taraji, I guess.
It has to be Taraji. Yeah, and then
Taraji,
Kathy Najimy. Yeah. with
Octavia.
Yeah.
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 Chance the Rapper as Max. Oh my God! If I
That
could
would be
not want to
genius.
bone that man anymore, that's the more of a
Oh,
reason.
Wow.
I'm
okay, Tell us how you
obsessed.
really feel.
Just did.
You're obsessed with Chance.
I'm not the only one speaking my feelings because in Iowa, there's this restaurant that's supposed to open up on August 8th, and it's called Me So Hungry. It's a 90s inspired hip hop restaurant with Southern food, owned by two Caucasians, Sarah Couture and Ryan Greening. Well, it was causing such an uproar because people thought that this was appropriating black culture, and it was the name was racist towards Asians, and it was just all bad. So it's been going on for so long that the couple has officially changed the name to Eggs and Jam. They sent out an apology.
That's definitely way more white. From me, so
I'm like, is it a
hungry
Dr.
to
Seuss?
eggs and jam? Like, what? Right.
So they sent out an apology, basically saying like all we wanted was to tie in hip hop and food. We thought we were cute with using taking a '90s famous song and flipping it, but we understand how it has affected people, and people didn't take it the way they said. Our intentions were pure. We weren't trying to offend anybody. Which I do believe, but again, that's where the ignorance comes in of like, you know what I mean? Just because you think something's fun and, you know what I mean, dressing your kid up in Harajuku and all that kind of stuff. Like,
I kind of got to disagree with you, Jesse. I don't think people should be that offended by it.
I think we don't have the whole story.
Yeah, I feel like
that
there's more to the
sounds
story.
real.
Like what you just read is not.
Because like when you say a hip hop themed restaurant, like were y'all just playing hip hop music and serving
I mean, for
pancakes?
me,
or was it like?
Well, yeah, that's why black people
step and fetch it on the menu, serving watermelon,
right.
along with playing.
Well, they didn't announce any of that. It's just the name, and I mean that's how I felt with like if white people want to have the hip hop restaurant, like why can't they? To me, the only like real thing comes from the name, because I mean, when that song came out, Asians were upset. Like it was really like no one was here for it. And an Asian restaurant who's like down the street from them tweeted it out and was like,
so
"This is
it
offensive."
really? Because first of all, where they at in Iowa? Ain't that many black people? Like
Near Des Moines. Is that how you say it?
I think
yeah, it's Des Moines, but whatever. I feel like that's not all the story.
I feel like
we only get in part of the story. They just like, oh, we named it this, and like something else had to be going on other than because it's like you're serving Southern food, okay? Like
chicken fried
And me
rice.
so
that's
hungry.
Southern food is white and black, like
Right.
white and black folks, and everybody else eats Southern food. Like, what does that have to do with anything? So like, there had to be something else with the correlation, like.
I mean, is Two Live Crew bumping in there
I
while
don't-
you
I
eating
don't
food?
know
Like,
what's
what's
I mean,
the-
I'm assuming.
Are they
that's
in
what it
blackface
is.
rapping? Like
Right,
what?
right.
That's what I'm saying. Like there has to be something else because
No,
just playing.
it was just a play off of this name. Like this name set people on fire. Like, and they just.
I don't know if I'd be that upset about it.
I don't.
mean, I
It
just have
set
to say
black
that.
people on fire.
No, no,
And
it's
black and Asians.
Black and Asians. So
upset
Asians
too.
were upset with the name. Black people were upset apparently with them,
The
with
hip-hop-
white people
white
wanting
people
to
hip-hop
use
restaurant,
hip hop
Yeah.
as a theme. For
And
their
that's not offensive to me either. I mean, look at the people who've helped. Like, look at Russell Simmons and Lear Cohen, who Lear Cohen is helped him create Def Jam, and also what was Rick Rubin. You know, these are iconic white dudes who have been in hip hop who've changed the game. So just to be mad about that because they want to associate with hip hop, I think that's kind of silly.
Yeah, I agree.
You know.
And that's all I got.
I don't know. I'm tired.
Well,
I
even
mean, Vanilla Ice had Ice Baby. I'm kidding.
yeah,
I'm
and look
kidding.
how that went for
I'm
him.
kidding. I am kidding on that.
So
one.
there you guys have
kidding.
it. August 8th, Eggs and Jam. Jam on out.
well,
Jam
hell,
on.
at least they still got a restaurant.
I just want to know if the food is good.
I mean, yeah, because I was more concerned about if it's an abomination of Southern food. I'm like,
Right.
you in Des Moines and you making what? Oh, okay.
Well, I'm also kind of like, did you put the hippo on there, like hip hop and the hippo? Because I was questioning what the heck the hippo is, like that logo, like
I thought it was a
with
pig.
a crown. Oh, it looked like a hippo with a. Can we go back to that
I
picture real
assumed
quick?
it was a
Those are-
pig.
That's a hippo.
That's a hippo?
That looked like a
that's
hippo.
not a pig. It's a hippo, I think.
That looked like a
Or a
hippo.
rhinoceros.
With a crown. There's no horn.
There's no horn. He said a rhinoceros.
It kind of, or
It actually looked like the dog I'm babysitting right
Y'all
now.
need to change the name and do
like
all that because that don't make no damn sense. Let's just leave it at that.
It looks like a pug too from the side.
That's what I'm saying. It looked like what is that? Okay.
What is
There you
that?
go.
I need to know what kind of animal I'm eating when I come into your
And
restaurant.
I assume pig because I'm like they probably frying up bacon and southern food.
Right.
We put the pork and
Me
everything.
so hungry, I want to eat the pig.
You know what I'm saying?
What is that image actually?
Now we don't know if it's a dog
Look, I gotta
or a
take off my
rhino. Like
glasses to
what
really
is
look.
happening?
And this is what we're upset about.
Right.
But
look, it
that's a
doesn't
good
have
enough
tail.
reason to change it up. Like
Wait,
y'all don't need those.
doesn't you thought it was a hog, a pig? Doesn't
I
a pig have
never
a
had
little
any
tail?
of it. I
Look at the
don't
tail.
know.
It looked like a
Hang out
hippo.
with pigs. Y'all
Ronnie,
still
can you come in?
arguing.
What you think that is?
Is that a pig or a
Ronnie, what
hippo,
is that?
Ronnie?
No, this is where you voice your opinion.
Yeah, you voice your
Well,
opinion.
hold on, doing six
He's
things at once.
looking, he's looking.
Don't do that. I think it is not a pig. I think it's a hippo.
Yep.
A hippo.
the
Look at that little tail.
I think hippos do have small tails.
I came with this. Okay, so what you doing with a hippo with food?
It's ugly. This is a terrible idea. I'm not a big fan of this.
Hip hop
Oh, that's why hip hoppopotamus.
Okay, but
Oh,
that's
Lord
racist as
Jesus.
fuck.
And the spray paint, all of it's
Okay,
terrible.
It's not even racist. That's just stupid.
That's just
Y'all
stupid.
What was that from? Hip hop.
I don't know, but that's
I don't know,
stupid.
that's just dumb.
Big
that's
Daddy,
dumb.
right?
We're done, maybe. I don't. Yes.
Yeah.
Oh my God. When the
Okay,
kid was like,
yeah.
he was.
Oh, that's right.
Oh my
Adam
God!
Sandler?
Sorry, we're having
Yeah,
a
yeah,
flashback
yeah.
right
Okay,
now.
you're
For
right.
Rob Schneider.
All
Rob
right,
Schneider.
so we're gonna
Yeah.
move on from the
We're gonna
hippos
move
and the
on.
white folks in the Des Moines.
If y'all think
Iowa,
it's something
just-
different, tweet us or you know.
Oh, no.
What would you name the
What
restaurant?
would you name the?
Yeah.
Yeah, give us names for the
Yeah.
restaurant. What would y'all call it? And what image would you use?
Definitely not a hippo.
Black China.
Well,
So I know y'all see how she got a full-on layout in People magazine
people.
with the baby.
No, I'm sorry. We're not going to change the subject.
We
but
are
I'm sorry to
changing
change
the subject.
I actually texted my sister yesterday. Was upset because I was like, here's iconic George Clooney.
Why are you upset?
Because she got a full page spread next to George Clooney and Halle Berry and
Why you mad
she
for
is
it?
not deserving of that. I'm
Why
sorry.
not?
I am
Why
sorry.
are you hating on the China come up?
She
I'm
scammed
sorry,
her way.
man. I'm sorry. I am so upset about this come up. I just think it's
I'm with you,
ridiculous.
Darryl.
I think it's
It's
ridiculous.
garbage. Yeah,
It's
I
garbage.
don't care about ratings,
We're
like,
feeding into
ratings
trashy
and-
news.
yeah, come on. No,
people
boom,
like it
terrible.
actually made me think of people in a different way that they're giving her so much exposure.
now you
People,
think of
Good
people
Morning
in a different
America.
way?
Like People has been Star Magazine for the past
for like
how
10
many?
years
Yeah,
now?
like who's checking for People magazine?
As a like a. you
This
know,
is where the Real
it's not a
Housewives and all
rag.
the people go to sell their stories, and that's where they get.
I
their
know
5
Teresa
pages.
Giudice's been on the front of People how many times?
I mean,
like, I can't.
that's true and all, but it's just like I at least went to people to get also real stories about.
Well, it's a real story. That's a real
This is-
story. What you
I
get?
don't
Why
want
you
this-
mad for?
I'm
It's called
hating
People.
on her. I don't want
She
to
is
try.
a person.
It ain't called A-list people.
You know
Maybe
what
they
I'm
need to
saying?
come out in a different
Listen, it's
segment.
one
Oh,
thing
she,
to get.
she about
Actually,
A-list.
that's
and
she a Kardashian
She in the
with a
same,
child.
she in the
It
same
was
magazine with George Clooney.
next to her story. In fact, I want to say George's story was after her.
I
Get
believe
your
it.
coins, girl.
At this point, who's George Clooney?
And I don't know where y'all was at with that photo shoot, but that house looked real nice and you look good. You had on the sensible wig and the baby looked cute. Get your money, girl.
That's the last that she used to
I
rob
would
money for
rather
an
her be doing
Airbnb.
that than be spinning around the pole.
Oh, and then she gonna be in Nicki Minaj's new
But I
video
love
with
that
the
Tiger
Lamborghini.
made a statement. He's like, Rob, I told you, I warned you, buddy.
He was
I
like, you
warned
don't know where she, you
warned
ain't
you.
from where she from. You don't know what she been through. You can't handle that, bro.
Yeah, he warned them.
Well, speaking of things we can't handle, guys. Apparently, Elon Musk thinks we ain't ready for what's coming when it comes to artificial technology. So
Scary.
this week he was at the National Governors Association meeting, which was held in Rhode Island, and he basically gave a speech about how he was warning everyone and states that they really need to start looking into thinking about how we can legislate the building of artificial intelligence because he believes it is a fundamental existential risk for human civilization. And he's kind of been on this tip for like the last 3 years. Some people are kind of like, dude, you're doing too much. Like, AI is doing great things for us, and how are we supposed to, a lot of government people are like, how are we going to regulate something when it's not even really here to regulate yet? We're still watching it grow and figure out what it's going to do. And he's saying we need to get ahead of it, because if we get behind it, it's going to be a hot mess. And basically, he was sort of speaking to all the different things that could happen with AI coming soon, which we've all kind of sort of started to hear about,
yeah.
whether it's how our electrical grid can just be shut down, or we could be out of water with no way to get it because computers and robots, so to speak, are running things. And he also said that we are going to become obviously obsolete, he thinks, if we don't do something about it. And he's like, we're already cyborgs because, you know, we use phones, wear contact lenses, etc. And he thinks that the next step in our cyborgery, because that's a word, should be a neural lace implant on our brains so that we can basically directly connect into
Oh my God, what's that?
AI.
No,
I watched
no,
too many,
that's what's called Jesus.
faster.
I watched too many X-Files episodes. You're not putting any chips.
Dude, I read the Bible.
Well,
Fuck X-Files. I read the Bible. Sure will not. Sure will not.
he definitely thinks that a lot of these tech gurus and amazing people that he also works with are amazing people with mostly good intentions, but he does really believe that what we are currently doing is basically summoning the devil, and if we don't get ahead of it, it's gonna be on like popcorn.
I think we listen.
Worried?
The mark
Black
of the
China is
beast.
on people. We already summoned
Are
the
you
devil.
worried?
We are. You listen. The devil's already on this land.
He just waiting.
Just wait.
Just let me die at the age of 100, and then y'all
wanna
can
age
bring
of
me.
live to 100?
Yep.
Well, honey, they think this
Why?
neural lace implant will be something they're doing in the next 3 to 5 years.
My religion says I can't.
So I'm just like, I mean, your
This the wrong
religion
coun-
might,
this
but
the
look
wrong
where
country
we live. We got
for me to be
Cheetos and the
talking about
president.
religion.
Somebody might rob you, kidnap you, and just implant that junk while you sleep. Like, you
X-Files.
just don't know.
See, but if that happens,
X-Files.
then it's like Jesus. Like, what am I
Like,
supposed
help
to do?
me.
Like,
I
I didn't
don't
know
know what's
it.
going
So
on.
they don't have about 18 episodes of X-Files.
Yo, I will be awake with a rifle. Okay.
Wait, with a rifle, just standing there like.
No, I'll be.
Do you
want
want to live like that though?
No, I don't. I would be Walking Dead outside.
Would you rather just die?
in the-
Because like with Walking Dead, like, would you rather just be dead?
No, this is the day that
Or
I
do
would
you
call
want
you.
to
Court-
live?
No, because I
No,
would
this
always
would be
in
the
hope
day.
that I was going to start a new community and be able to live.
Derrial.
happily ever after.
But that's still like going backwards. You
No.
see what happened to Alexandria?
No, what I would do,
Right,
honestly,
that's
bitch,
true.
I would get on the phone, I would
true.
call y'all and be like, Courtney, you ready to start selling liquor at that coconut spot down in
Word.
down in Barbados, girl? Let's get
but
a
then
raft.
it's gonna expand to the world. Yeah,
No,
interesting.
we
I
got
wonder.
find Galapagos Island. or
Just get on
something.
an island, but is that what you wanted? Like,
Yep.
you want to just like exist beyond?
As long
without
as I can, I'll be like,
anything. As long as
God,
you can
send it
exist.
to me, and I will
Okay.
be here. I will try to eat
Interesting.
raw crab as much as I can.
Raw crab.
Yeah.
Why I gotta be
See,
raw?
now
You
I'm saying
can't boil
cra-
it.
I don't.
Oh, you gonna die because you can't eat
I'm gonna die.
seafood.
Yeah, I'm going to have to eat the bananas and the cantaloupes and the
Baby and
the
banana, like
coconuts.
real
I can live
bananas.
off of coconut
Real
water,
bananas.
though. Coconut water.
Real bananas
I
ain't
hate
like
coconut water.
store-
I can live off coconut water, though.
Coconut water is gross.
you could live off it.
You can't live off of
I
it.
mean, I'll
It's kind of
figure out a way.
gross.
You got like a week.
It's gross.
We'll use your carcass after.
Aw, yeah, but I'm gonna make some fire. I'm gonna boil my crab legs.
No, I could probably find a pig or something on the island.
Or a hippopotamus.
Or
Or
hippopotamus.
a hippopotamus. Or a bird, some type of bird. That's like
bird?
You catching a bird would be.
How you gonna catch
I
a
would
bird?
actually.
I'll make some spears. What's up?
All right.
You gonna make some spears? And
I know how
just
to-
throw
I
'em?
know how to
How
do
you-
the great outdoors. I'm
how
from
you make
Ohio,
a
baby.
spear? How you make a spear, Derrial?
Do a tree trunk and a knife.
And
All
how
I
you
can
gonna how
see-
you gonna cut the tree trunk?
We gonna figure that out.
Okay, so you gotta make sure you got a
I'll
saw
find-
while
I'll
you're
find
on
a
the
smaller
run
tree
trying to
or a
swim to
smaller branch.
Barbados.
Mind you, I'm gonna be like Tom Hanks with my little volleyball. Like, this my best friend. Derrial, you get that coconut yet?
You're like, Derrial,
All
you
of a sudden, I got a
climbing
country
the
accent.
Right.
Oh God! Well, that's what we'll be doing in the apocalypse. I actually
What are
think,
you guys gonna do?
No, I actually think what's really gonna happen if the apocalypse were to occur in LA, I feel like we'll all end up like at a bar in West Hollywood, just depressed, drinking until
Dancing
we get
until,
ate up.
yeah.
Till we get ate up. Like,
Until God is like,
It's like-
you're done.
your time's up, kids. Your time's up.
Armageddon.
Singing and dancing to Whitney Houston and Mariah Carey
I'm not mad.
going
I don't
slow.
know about Mariah Carey, but when
You know you would be singing along with Mariah Carey.
I would, but I
Yes,
mean,
you
I'd
would.
rather go out to
You've
Whitney.
been there, done it. Okay, you rather go out to Whitney. Okay, that's what we're doing. Okay, speaking of going out, yo, Usher was going out too much. He
going
was
out.
playing too much, and he done got caught up. He got caught up in 2009, 2010, right
make
after
a
he got
U-turn.
divorced, y'all. He was out with somebody, and somebody shared a little present with him, and that present was called herpes.
Ease.
He got the herpes, y'all. He got the herpes. It was all broke out and oozing stuff, and he met this new chick,
Something
right?
about the ooze. It just.
He met this new
gonna
chick,
throw up.
right? He met this girl around 2012, and mind you, he was diagnosed around 2009, 2010. He met this chick around 2012. They started getting it in, and basically what had happened was he had a flare up. Apparently, something oozed out. He went and got it checked, even though he was already diagnosed.
So he's not on medication.
He
for
told, I'm sure he is, but you can't.
this? Like, if you have a
herpes,
breakout, you can't be.
you
out.
can't help it.
Ronnie, why would you do that?
Oh, he put the herp up on the TV. Oh, but see, that's the lip herp. If it's on the other part,
yeah,
it's even
the other
gross.
part is
It's
even
even more
grosser.
gross.
Yeah.
It's even more gross. Okay, so anyway, he had this chick, right? He was raw dogging. She was okay with it. she claims that when it oozed, he went to get it checked out and told her that the ooze was fine. It wasn't nothing. I'm like, girl, I don't know what you thought it was.
His stomach is
but
literally
whatever. So they continue to get their raw humping on for a little while longer. And turns out,
she noticed the ooze and then continued.
And that's gonna be my argument when she gets done telling
I
me.
don't know. Look, everybody tell different stories, but this was the story that I had access to and that I found online and was talking and whatnot. So they saying that the reason she found out whatever oozing, he came back was like, nah, it ain't what you think it is. It's fine. They continued on in their relationship. She was later diagnosed with the herp. And she was all like, bruh, like, you gave me the herp. And he was like, oh, I got you, boo. I'm going to pay for your medicine and whatever. So he paid some medical bills, about up to $3,000 initially for, whatever creams.
2010, so that means he was with his wife.
No,
right?
2012.
12.
No, he was divorced from Tamika before he
Apparently
got
she's
the
a
herp.
celebrity stylist.
Yeah. Yeah, she was his stylist. He was a celebrity. So anyway, he was paying for her health stuff, to take care of helping her with the herp. But I don't know what had happened. But if I were to guess what had happened is that she figured out or found out that he straight up lied to her and knew he had been diagnosed with herpes. And then she came back and she sued him. And basically the law in California states that it is illegal to knowingly or recklessly transmit an STD. I wonder what knowingly versus recklessly, recklessly? Are you, what does that mean exactly? Like you push too hard with the condom on purpose?
Yeah,
I don't know what that means.
Wear a condom, maybe.
But that's knowingly because you didn't wear a condom.
That's true.
So I don't know. Anyway, knowingly or recklessly transmitting an STD, and it's basically he settled this case. Maybe not technically admitting to wrongdoing, but he's settled with this chick for $1.1 million, and now she gets to live with a herp. But she's sort of a millionaire.
Feeling ain't the same. Find myself calling her your name.
I can't even dance to this one now.
I can't. This was before it happened. This was what, 2003?
Props for that, but I can't even dance to that one.
2004?
Yeah.
Something like that?
Somewhere in there.
So it was before the herp, man. He was doing all right.
See, this is the part when
This
I
is
read,
his
when I
pre-
read this.
This is pre-herp.
This is what just grossed me out, though. He said he had also allegedly told the victim he had tested negative for the virus despite a greenish discharge from his
But
pants.
that's my thing. He had an explosion.
So she
and
saw.
she was like, oh.
She saw.
I mean, I'm not that familiar with the peen. Could something green come out?
She had vaginal sores, fevers, and chills.
Well, that's when she got the herp. But my question is, women can have things coming out that aren't the herp. So
True.
Can penises have things
No, bitch. If it's
leaking?
green, if it's green coming out your dick.
But is there another infection?
Nope. I mean,
it could be
other
clear.
I
wouldn't know.
Premature ejaculation.
No, it's never coming out green. It's like
No,
a milky.
I said it's clear. It's clear. It's
Can you
milky.
drink? Can you drink too much green tea and then you're getting it green coming out?
It would come out your ass.
No.
Yeah, not
It
that
would
I
come
know
out
of.
your ass.
Yeah, really the only thing pee is different colors. So it could be
And
dark
you-
if you
you
eat a
need a
lot of
vitamin or
vitamins or something
vitamin,
like that. It's never gonna come out green. If it comes out
Or
red,
at
then
least
you need to
smell
get
if you
checked.
have,
Yeah, asparagus.
asparagus, if you have that gene. Yeah.
So maybe she thought he ate a whole lot of
No,
asparagus. Like a whole
no.
lot.
If you eat asparagus, your pee still comes out yellow.
Yellow,
It's just
yeah.
bright
Or
yellow,
even
but it
clear.
stinks.
But what if it
His
comes out,
discharge, I'm gonna keep it so real with you guys, but his
I don't
discharge,
think I want you to keep it real.
Girl.
What you about to say?
girl, do you remember?
I'm gonna throw up.
Yep. Because my I've been going
where are you
back.
going?
Do you remember Xand? From the 90s?
Oh my god.
And it came in that plastic star. And it was gack. It looks like that coming out of it. And if you see that, and you think that you can continue doing something after that, girl, you don't deserve no $1 million.
maybe she saw-
No.
See,
Maybe.
here's the fine line of what I was saying before we started the show.
I'll give the
which is my
bitches with R.
argument.
Kelly. I'll give them be fine, girl. This bitch though,
That was my argument that I had before we started the show. Was I said,
Oh my
Courtney,
God.
is should you be suing someone if you know that they had herpes? Here's my thing: if she saw a green discharge,
It's like I'm
there's no
done.
way that you don't think that there might be something going wrong with that person.
But
if you
whether they're
nared-
telling
Okay,
you
that's
or
fine.
not,
That's fine.
that
But
they do
what
or do not
if?
have
Okay,
something.
so say
you
you're
get
in a
to sue me.
relationship, right? Okay, say you're in a relationship, And
it's your choice.
And hold on, you're in a relationship,
And you discharging?
and something peeks out green, and
We're
you're
going-
like, "Oh, honey, what is that?" And he's
Right.
like, "I don't know." And then he's like, "Oh my God, I'm going to the doctor." You're like, "Yes, honey, go now." And he
Right.
goes to the doctor, and then he comes home, and he's like, "You're like, babe, like, what was it? Like, is it okay?" And he's like, "Yeah, it was just a fungus. It's nothing serious."
That's a lie.
That's a lie, which is making
So-
her entitled to $1 million settlement.
I mean, okay, yeah. I mean, okay.
He lied.
Okay. He blatantly lied. And he had a
Because
serious
if he
medical
knew he'd been
situation.
diagnosed and he never
Okay,
fessed up to
okay,
saying, "I
okay,
have herpes,
okay.
but I'm going to raw dog anyway,"
Okay.
because she probably would have still done it.
Ew. I know. I can imagine the
there's
bitch
so many
like
people that are
he
going,
probably
like-
wiped it off the head and was like, "Go ahead, girl." And she was like,
Or he might have just been like, "Girl, you can't catch it. It's okay." People stupid. They do stupid stuff
They do
with
stupid
sex
stuff.
all the time.
And with a
They be like, "See, you can't."
"Girl,
it's
you
on-
can't swallow herpes."
Yeah. Or he. She was putting it in her mouth.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. She's lucky she didn't really get it all around her mouth area, you know.
You don't know that she's
Okay,
not,
please
because
just
she
change
could
the story.
actually have the
Sure.
virus in her, and it will eventually come out.
What's the Confederate movie?
And it'll be all in your mouth. Oh, we were supposed to talk about that
Just do it.
earlier.
Just
We're
do
going
it.
to talk about something else real quick, just because it came up online and it was like really interesting because people are fighting like seriously about this movie. So Game of Thrones is premiering their final season right now. Everybody's
Yeah.
like super pumped.
Last episode, first episode was amazing.
I've only
it twice
watched 2
already.
episodes of Game of Thrones and I got so far behind. I
Oh,
just
yeah,
have to
you-
wait
you
till
sh- you
it's
should just
like
give
I
up.
just gave somebody told me
should
just
just
give
give
up
up.
till it's over and
Yeah,
then
just
watch
start
it all
Yeah,
together.
yeah.
So that's what I'm
I'm
going to
a
do.
hardcore. I've already watched last Sunday's episode twice.
Yeah. Okay, so Game of Thrones is back. They're finishing up. The creators of Game of Thrones, whose name I don't have right now because we just decided to do this, have already basically sold their next show to HBO. And what they're doing is this like alternate reality future thing basically called Confederate. And it's an alternate space where the southern states that seceded from the Union succeeded. So I don't know if they won that Civil War or if they're saying the Civil War never happened or whatever. But basically, the country is as it is, but the Mason-Dixon line separates the country. Slavery still exists in the South, and there's still abolitionists. There's still, wealthy planters, and it's sort of this modern take on what slavery would be like if it had stayed around and lasted, and the tensions and problems that will occur with these both sides of the country literally living next door to each other. And people are going in online. Like, a lot of people are really upset, think it's the worst timing ever for this to come about. Why do we need to give the white man this success of the southern states and all of this with the climate that we're living in right now and the issues that we are having? And then there's the other side of people that are like, no, actually this is amazing. It's sort of like how amazing Handmaid's Tale is based on what's happening to women in the country and how women and how much commentary can actually happen through the art of television, and that these people, the Game of Thrones creators and the 2 writers that they've pulled on, are ridiculous, amazing, creative writing
Absolutely.
people that will probably come up with something so brilliant that it will be an amazing sort of mirror to look at ourselves in what's really happening in society. And that's, of course, the side that I actually fall on. I actually think it's brilliant, and I'm actually super excited to see what they do with it.
I am too, and also I think that because there's such a success with Game of Thrones, and this is going to be something so opposite from them, I think they're doing something a little bit more controversial with what they're putting out, so people will start talking about it and separate it from Game of Thrones. That's my personal opinion.
Interesting.
Just to get a different, just cut
But
it
what's
off.
really funny, did you see the article that's going around on Facebook about black people, why black people don't watch Game of Thrones, but they really should, because Game of Thrones is like the most brilliant commentary for black people to watch about white people.
Which is ironic, because I know a bunch of black people who watch Game of Thrones.
There's a lot, but in general, I guess the demo is not really
Sure.
black people.
I mean, yeah, sure.
But it's funny, because the guy literally goes through all the clans or families, I don't know what they are, and talks about
Families.
why Game of Thrones is the most brilliant
Kingdoms.
illustration of white supremacy and white elitism, and why it's a problem, and how this is an example of this, and I don't know enough about Game
I
of
would agree with
Thrones,
that.
but it's funny as hell, and it's really cool. And having read that, then knowing what their next project is, I'm like, oh my god, these guys are gonna come up with something
They're
super
brilliant.
thought-provoking.
I want to see what it's going to be.
I think it's gonna be great. Well, we all fall on the positive side here. We're not those people that were angry, because a lot of people are like, slavery, why are you doing this again?
I won't get angry until until I see what they do.
Yeah, because I
You know
think
what
it's
mean?
going to be more of like what you're saying.
Yeah.
Like it's going to be positive comment.
I think people automatically just want to be angry and just go to the anger first before they.
And I don't know that, like,
emotion.
I don't need it. And it's funny because people are like, that's not a positive thing. And, like, why do we want to know? Like, I don't need it to be positive. Like, I actually hope it's gruesome.
And there's a
because
message.
Oh, it will be.
The whole idea that, like,
They don't
we
hold
still
back.
exist in a reality where we romanticize what the Confederacy was and think it's okay that these statues still exist, these streets are still named after these people. And, like, as a country, we've accepted that because the whole country accepts that
Right.
because ain't no federal law said that's a bad idea, even though they lost the war and they actually were treasonous for trying to leave the country. You know what I'm saying? And the fact that we're fine with all that, so I think it'll be a really cool, like, if it's really just gruesome and harsh about,
Like, don't be scared.
don't be scared, like, dig in and hire me because I would love to be on it. Thanks. End scene, we're
I
done.
like nice little plug there. All right, we're going to move on to our EUR Web Story Spotlight of the Week.
EUR Web Story Spotlight of the Week.
All right. Well, maybe you can get hired by R. Kelly because
No.
he
No.
is looking apparently for
No.
new women to stay in his house.
No.
Well, there is he's made the news again. R. Kelly's been kind of low key, you know, for the several
Low-key,
years.
He
As
been
far as like,
hiding
as far as
'cause he doing
scandals,
nasty
you know, he's
stuff.
been.
I could tell you something he ain't been low key
Okay,
about, but I
well,
won't.
All right, we want to hear that too.
I'll tell you.
But apparently, according to a BuzzFeed report, R. Kelly has been allegedly having a sex slave little situation at his house. He has a multitude of different women that have been staying there, and apparently he's been keeping them captive. They are not allowed to leave. That's what these reports have been saying. You know, there's one particular woman by the name of Jocelyn Savage, and her father, Tim Savage, has actually gone on TMZ and made a report talking about how his daughter's a singer and how R. Kelly's taking advantage of his daughter, and that he and his wife haven't spoken to the daughter in you know, or seen her in a very long time, and she's cut off family, and he blames R. Kelly because he feels like R. Kelly takes advantage of young women artists and you know, and allows them to stay at his home, and then, you know, just basically does what he does and does nasty things to them.
Hey.
Now,
We all know he nasty. This video is
so
hilarious.
a report says that R. Kelly is painting R. Kelly as a monster who allegedly housed 6 women in Chicago and Atlanta and controlled their everyday lives, from when they can shower, when they can eat and use the restroom, how they can dress, and he also engaged with all of them in sexual encounters and made them engage with each other with sexual encounters. Now, R. Kelly came back and was like, listen, what are y'all talking about? I mean, I have women who stay in my crib, but I'm not doing anything illegal. They come and go as they please. We kick it. We party.
Just like Black China didn't do
I
nothing
provide
illegal.
them with nice bags. They
That's
go on
right.
vacations.
He's the Black Hugh
They get to
Hefner.
order, you know, whatever they want in the house. Neighbors have come around and said that R. Kelly's neighbors have said that they've seen women in and out of the house, but they've never been alarmed by it. They said it's the usual thing that happens there. They've seen women come in, leave for the party, come back after the party, order food out, come in. You know, there's never been a problem.
I mean, I wouldn't assume that there's like sex slings on the front yard. Like, have anyone seen Split? Like, they do that shit in the basement. You know? Like,
Well,
And it's a mansion, I'm sure.
It's a mansion, and then so one of the alleged main victims that's been appearing on TMZ, Jocelyn Savage, she reputed the stories and said that her father is causing trouble and none of it's true. So we have a clip here first of what the father said to TMZ.
because that gonorrhea shit is really in my
Because
stomach
you
right
can't.
now.
I'm trying to let it go.
Sorry.
on your mind. So we're gonna queue up in just a second the Tim Savage interview
We're ready.
on TMZ. Okay, we're ready.
You know the reason why Miss Jocelyn Savage didn't tell you where her location at? She's not allowed to tell you her location. Mr. R. Kelly, if you want to file a lawsuit, you should have filed it yesterday. I'm waiting on you. File the lawsuit. If that's what you want to do, I'll see you in court. File it so everybody can see your dirty laundry. File it. That's what they need to see. And Jocelyn, I'm praying for you, baby. I'm praying for you.
Now, that was Tim Savage giving his side of what he was reported against R. Kelly. Now, it's been interesting because Jocelyn's come out, and we're going to play her video in a sec, or one of her videos from TMZ, but she came out and said that actually her father was the one who dropped her off to R. Kelly to help her with her singing career, and what was supposed to be 6 months turned into she's now staying with him, and now she won't give her family the location of where she is. So she keeps doing these videos, and they're popping up, but she won't physically tell them where she is, but she just says she's safe and good. So there is a little controversy with that. Now we're going to play a little portion of Jocelyn's, TMZ story that she put out there.
I'm 21. I'm about to be 22 in about 5 days, and I just mainly want to say that I'm in a happy place with my life, and I'm not being brainwashed or anything like that. It just came to a point where it definitely has got out of hand. So, I just want everybody to know, my parents and everybody in the world, that I am totally fine. I'm happy where I'm at, and everything is okay with me.
So you are not being held against.
That don't sound
or
okay.
doing anything that you do not want to do.
Oh, no, not at all. I've never been feeling hostage or anything like that in that nature. Never.
So why is it now that your family's coming forward and saying this, and they've asked for a welfare check and everything like that? Why do you think now?
I personally, I don't really know what's going on with that, so I wouldn't want to answer that at this moment. The last time I spoke to my parents may have been about a good on and off for about a good 6-5 months. I haven't really spoken to them because of everything they've been causing problems in my life, about saying I've been hostage and being held against my will and stuff like that, because I'm very heartbroken of what's going on with this situation, because it's getting to a point where it's getting too much out of hand. Me having to deal with this and me being 22, it's just, it's just not right.
So that's
right, girl. That's why you need to go home.
It's not right.
Because your music industry, girl. Where's your video? Where's your music video?
Okay.
I want to see.
I hear you, but let's keep it honest.
I had service.
These young girls, all they doing
this.
is going to him, right? And he's promising, they're living this. I don't know where she's from originally,
right?
But
that's why her parents are
financial
nervous.
background is with her parents. But especially if it's true that the father took her to R. Kelly.
So he needs to shut up because he took her
he
to R. Kelly. And I wish this video with my Muppet played right now, but I don't get good service in here. It literally says, why are you people still trusting your daughters with R. Kelly?
Because it's the fame and it's the dollar.
Then you deserve
does R. Kelly got
whatever you're
dollar like
getting.
that?
I agree with you.
Oh, yeah,
but I agree with you. But what I'm saying is that girl, she didn't seem to be brainwashed to me. I think what it is that
she didn't seem like she was reading off an iPad note.
Well, she may be reading off some things because of other things.
And she might be, but she's 22 years old.
And not only that, if someone says, "Are you being held hostage?" and she says, "I really can't speak on that," just say no. If you're fine, if you are genuinely good and fine.
But she did say that. She said she wasn't being held hostage.
But when he says, after that, if you play that video more, he says, "Are you allowed to leave the house and do what you wish to do on your own free accord?" She said, "I'd actually wish to not speak on that."
I don't think that R. Kelly is holding these women.
No,
I don't think he's.
I think he has rules.
I think
it's a dom sub situation.
Yes,
and I think that he got these girls up in there, and
it
is a brainwash. I'm sorry, that is brainwash. That's the sense of brainwash.
That's brainwash, but it's not illegal.
No, it's not illegal. He supplies them with this
Hollywood
lavish
does
lifestyle.
it to everybody now.
Hollywood does it to everybody. He provides them with a lavish lifestyle. He's R. Kelly. He's the R&B star. These girls want to be put on, and they're chilling at his house.
Y'all gonna be waking up like Usher Stylist one day, y'all.
Well, that's a whole different subject.
Cast out, doing whatever.
Just out here wiping green discharge all over the walls.
I don't know what the father feels like. He has some extra. It sounds like the father has some extra dirt on R. Kelly because he said, "Bring it." As far as like if you want to sue me,
and
all your dirty laundry will be out. So I'd be interested to know what that dirty laundry is because R. Kelly probably got some dirty laundry.
Well, it's nothing surprising. Like, how much more can he surprise us? He peed on a 15-year-old girl on tape.
Was she 15? I thought she was 13.
Whatever, 14. She was a minor.
She was a minor. Yeah.
And then when he's out,
right. She was a minor.
Wait a minute.
I mean, come on, she was 13 and a half.
But then he did that interview.
She can watch PG-13 movie.
He literally did that interview where they asked him, like they said, "So do you have an affinity for young girls?" What do you mean by young?
What do you mean by
legal? Okay, like you.
Right.
Look, I have sympathy for these women because it's very likely that they are being manipulated and being ruled over
Sure.
in some way, but that is still a choice they get to make. Many young women get in bad relationships with boyfriends at 18, 19, 20 years old all the time. They just don't happen to be rich and peeing on them, perhaps. But it's not illegal.
It's not illegal.
And that dad is disgusting because you introduced your daughter.
If it's true that he introduced his daughter, then he has no merit to say anything.
And I really want to know what that means versus like dropping her off. When you say drop her off with R. Kelly.
Let me start over. If he had the intentions, if I have a daughter and I know that I am friends or know someone who can help my daughter in her career, I'm still going to be very hands-on. It's like no different than parents taking their kids to American Idol and
I am not going to go to R. Kelly if my talented child is a young girl.
Is it like he went to R. Kelly, or it was like, oh, she's gonna work with R. Kelly's a producer of R. Kelly, and that was it. And then R. Kelly's in the studio at the same time. She checked with R. Kelly, and all of a sudden now it's this. Like, girl, your parents are worried because they haven't talked to you in 6 to 5 months. If my mom doesn't hear from me in 5 to 6 hours, my mom's calling me like, texting people that she shouldn't be on Facebook, hitting people up like, Mom.
But that's your relationship with your mom.
I mean, I feel
you don't know what her relationship was with her family.
Well, and clearly it wasn't great because you ran on out of there.
And so it is what it is. It sucks. And, girls, if y'all locked up, I hope y'all get free.
I'm happy that welfare is going to go do a check of the book.
They're going to do a check, and here's
so that means
there's a message here. No, but there's a message here.
Drop your kids off.
You got to.
Who's still trusting your girls?
It doesn't matter how much
Kelly.
money someone has.
I would trust Stevie Wonder with my eyebrows.
You got to be involved in that situation.
Right, like who out here like, Maya Campbell, can you take this $1,000, girl, and go get me some groceries? No, like, why would you do that?
I think it makes a good point, too, because it's not even about R. Kelly. Like we were talking about earlier, the ultimate scammer here and there. Yeah. It becomes a thing where women, or I'm not saying women are trying to scam or men are trying to scam, but it makes a situation where these conversations from these parents need to be had with the children.
Absolutely, and I get it. People get caught up. They want everything is about money now. You know what I mean? And everybody wants that quick fame and that quick dollar. And
that
if your kid got, and everybody, if you got that talented kid, you want to put them on to somebody who can blow them up because there's so much competition now.
But
at the end of the day, everybody ain't talented. First of all, some of y'all are just
everybody ain't meant to be famous. Why? Can we do other stuff?
Well, listen, that's already been messed up.
Not everyone could be a Cardi B. I mean,
exactly.
But that philosophy is already messed up. It's already messed up because everybody already thinks that they can do it. So.
I guess we know.
Cardi B was out here with her inches on Wendy Williams talking about.
And her code.
Wendy, happy birthday, girl. This song for you, little bitch. You can't fuck with me if you like. I was like on the Wendy Williams daytime talk show.
It was amazing.
It was.
I was like,
we have to wrap up today. So
right after The View. Right after Good Morning, my grandmother was probably like, "What is this?"
Happened.
This is what our world has become.
But it was such an appropriate place for it to happen, though. It's not going to happen on GMA. You know what I'm saying?
Why? They got what's her name, Black China on there. Might as well ended it with a Cardi B.
Well, you're right about that. So what do I know at this stage?
In the end, once again,
what do I know?
Cardi ain't on the pole no more, and I call that.
What do we all know?
What do we all know?
We all know that it burns.
What do we all know? We know that it burns. It burns.
If you've learned anything from today,
burn for 1.1 million.
And if you have not walked away from anything today, if you've seen a green discharge, run.
Do you have to pay taxes?
Today would be a good day for us to have like our moment of like a conclusion of the
conclusion of the show. But I got a question.
Courtney's conclusion of the day.
I got a question. My question is, do you have to pay taxes on a civil settlement like that? Because is that considered income? Because, boo, if that's the case, you only work for $500,000. So you gave up your nut and got the bird for only $500,000.
Well, that's better than what she would have got. She was getting it probably for free. So at least she got something.
Not to burn forever. If it was like chlamydia or something, then but to burn forever.
I love this is how we're ending.
You literally about to burn forever.
Bronny, can we hear that?
Like you're never gonna be able to hear this song again.
Yeah,
and for chicks, I guess one thing dudes y'all saw outside. Hers is all up.
Y'all ever seen the blue waffle?
She trying to use
do
lady products and can't get them.
When the feeling ain't the same in your
He told you.
The feeling ain't the same in your body, girl.
Gotta go.
And that's another message. We talked about stealthing on this show,
I keep trying to end the show. You keep adding.
Okay, because we talked. I'm sorry. I'm gonna finish it. I just said because we talked about stealthing on this show.
Where you take the condom
where the
off
condoms slip it off. Okay, ladies. I'm gonna need y'all to know and be aware, okay? Like you need to know
what
how
rubber
it
and raw feel like.
what latex feel like, or whatever goat skin or whatever you need to know what that feel like. You need to know what it smell like.
Sheepskin.
Did I say goat?
You said goat.
My bad. I meant lamb, sheets, whatever. Anyway, all of it. Y'all need to know what.
Rough on the penis. Oh no, Jesus.
Y'all need to know what it feels like and be aware, because shouldn't nobody be able to stealth you?
Yeah, honestly.
No. Like you should be like, wait a second now.
Something
that
feels a little different.
Because otherwise you might end up oozing and burning, and we don't want that.
And probably you might be oozing and burning somebody who ain't got $1 million to give you. So.
Exactly, and you just mad because
you're just mad because you just oozing.
And he got nickels. He's like, I can put some money on your parking
Well, we gonna
meter.
burn on out of here. Courtney, where can fans find you?
I'm not burning nowhere, okay? Never that.
Chilling.
I'm chilling.
We're gonna
That's
ooze
why
our
I'm
way
good.
up off the show.
Sure the fuck not.
Nope. I'm
stomach.
going to drink my tea, and I will see you later.
Where can fans find you
everywhere, whatever, at Stuart Starlet.
All right.
Me at DJ Jesse J.
I was gonna say DJ Jesse J.
Go ahead,
at
give me
Derrial
double.
Christon on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, and not at the clinic.
I was gonna say W a pleasure,
Hell
W a
no.
fun, but actually after this episode, nah.
Nah.
We'll see y'all next
I ain't gonna
week.
be having no fun.
Go chew some gum.
And we ain't gonna be burning.
I'm gonna get a chastity belt.
Okay.
From executives Keven Undergaro, Derrial Christon, Tiana Hobson, and the entire BHL staff, we would like to thank you for supporting Black Hollywood Live, the first online broadcast network dedicated to African-American entertainment. For questions and comments, contact us. info@blackhollywoodlive.com. Like us on Facebook, tweet us, or Instagram us at BHL Online. And I am the official voice of Black Hollywood Live, Scipia, Instagram me at KingXOBay. Thanks for tuning in.
Hollywood redefined.
The views expressed here are those of the host only and do not necessarily reflect the views of BHL or its owners or principals.